morning, good afternoon, and good evening whenever and wherever you and welcome back to the beta plan. Now you might be wondering why this weird introduction that is normally never there. Well, that is because in the 6 videos that I made after this point, my computer apparently was visited by a ghost during Halloween that resetted my microphone settings. And to be frank, the sound quality was atrocious. It was so bad that I could not listen to my own videos, and therefore I decided to, well, redo them entirely, which means using the video material but talking all over them again. Now with 6 videos, that means a ton of time will be wasted if I do that, and some of them had interesting moments but also downtime moments. And because I'm still working on a backlog as I'm making these videos, I've decided to put these videos together more or less a little bit more together and give a little bit of a highlight reel. All in all, the 6 videos spanned about 20 years of gameplay, well, more than that. And I think I can make it 2 or 3 videos instead of the 6 with highlights. And I hope that, despite that not being exactly as you are used to from me seeing the videos with all the actions and what have you not, that you will forgive me for this, well, unwanted of course, but error that happened during the recording. I hope more that my effort in trying to correct it and that the fact that you can enjoy a lovely smooth voice will please you more than you will be annoyed by it. So without any further ado, I thank you for watching and hope you enjoy this watch. And so we return towards the Dulkadir. Now under the rule of Hooshyar, the true Zoroastrian line, and our empire is getting quite large as it is. In fact, if I look it up in the ledger, well, I just gotta show you, because our little realm that turned from, well, what was it, one province horde has turned to 757 realm size. We are almost twice the size of the Byzantine Empire. Now the armies, however, do not differ that much because, well, the lands in the Byzantine Empire are supposedly a little bit more developed and what have you not, but we do have the largest army in the world. And with this largest army in the world, well, I find myself obligated to take down these small little city-states that remained here within the south of Egypt. And before you say that is a different country, then I would say you are wrong and you are right, because nowadays it's part of Sana, but it doesn't hold that anymore, and so we will conquer it. Also, as my vassals sometimes found themselves an untimely death by disease, I granted my sons here some lands to rule in my stead. Here, for instance, the twins actually that I of course married to one another, that, well, have already some affinity for the people that once lived here, or that still live here, the Muslimin, because, well, their mother was indeed a Sayyid, and they are therefore a Mirza, meaning that they are, well, descendant from the lines that can trace their lineage back to Mohammed. But besides, of course, giving my son some land, other important matters of politics were taken care of by Hooshyar. After all, we wanted to have a little bit more control about what we can do without the interference of the council. And, well, we started with the revocation of titles. Oh, that was the plan. The council, however, needed a little bit of persuasion, but I was certain that I could get their support. After all, I had some favors still left out, and, well, some people money always talks for them, so it was quite easy to change the laws around just that little bit in my favor. Even if at times you might have to wait some days for people to actually realize that they pledged their word to your cause, or if you don't go on the council support. In fact, here I bought in favor without actually deciding to use it. After all, you need but the half of the council on your side, and there we have it. However, I was not only looking inwards, and the realm also found itself in a need to defend the faith from Bulgaria. Bulgaria then has declared war upon the Bundukarit or Zoroastrian horde brothers in the north. And therefore we moved in with one of our armies, as we also recruited many of the ladies that we captured from the Muslim Indine into our court. And here you can see the armies of Bulgaria focusing upon us as we siege down their holdings as they cross over the mountains. Unfortunately, the armies of the hordes had, well, actually just the hordes I should say, had just retreated. Not entirely what I had hoped, as apparently it was our realm that should bear the brunt of the blow versus these people. But you know what? So be it. After all, they are our children in a sense. We left the horde behind us when we settled. And we are the largest realm in the world. We can handle the Bulgarians as we captured their false priests. And there then, in the end, does come the horde. Just a little too late. Oh, if we were still a Horse Lord, we would teach them a lesson or two about being late to a battle. Nonetheless, we siege down everything, and again the Horse Lords decide, oh, there's Bulgaria, let's get the heck out of here. And our brave soldiers who have been sieging so long in Abkhazia, well, even a siege, even if going well, it takes a toll upon your army, and Bulgaria had regathered its strength back in its home. And so we must face them alone once again, and although the first time we were victorious, the second time we were not. However, being victorious, or actually not being victorious, we did do all the fighting, and that means that we had a lot of war score contribution, and it held back the Bulgarians certainly for a while. Hooshyar, however, during this great war, felt himself grow tired of age-old war, and was no longer considered capable of fighting it. Nonetheless, his generals finished the war, and in fact, new opportunities were found in the west, where revolts among the African Muslim Indian nation led to opportunity. After all, revolts are never in a defensive pact against you. And thus I attacked because I had more sons that required lands, as you can see from the symbol, the second one on top. And we went forward and conquered them, captured another few good people that we just ransomed, gained all the money until we finally had no more people that they would pay for, and we just claimed the territory and claimed our victory. And if you think, and yes, by the way, that's true, despite being incapable, I can still actually tell people who I want to rule. It's a bit weird, but alright. Anyways, as we went on into this area, we actually came to Venetian trade posts and close to Italy, who had now gone to himself a colony on the African coast. it almost sounds like the future timeline was reverted a little bit back, because both France, or well, Aquitaine, as well as Italy now had lands within the Tunisian and Libyan lands. And here I even give my 0-year-old some land. After all, I wanted to give all my sons something before I died. And well, we were definitely looking into making our legacy grow. And as our first revolt, after we quashed the first revolt I should say, also meant that we battled some of the king's troops, well, a second revolt bursted out, and that only led to more opportunity, pushing ever furthermore into Africa. I don't know why they would even think it would be a wise idea if an army of the Persian Empire stands at their gates that they would go, let's go independent here. But alright, we find ourselves the weakest targets and move into striking distance. As we also suffer more and more of these nasty French Bourbon people, which is actually untrue because they can't be French and Berber at the same time, but the people from Aquitaine, they have taken on the Berber culture and they are raiding us across the waters. It's somewhat of a nuisance to our realm. But here we find the army of the rebels, and because we've captured their capital, they can't suddenly surrender unless their casus belli becomes null and void. But yeah, this is what we're doing here. You can see the Italian colony as well, with their 10,000s of people running now to Majerba. I think at that time they were at war with, not as an aggressive war, but as a defensive war. Yeah, I don't know why this one single county that the enemy troops are marching through would declare war upon all of Italy, but he did. Oh well. Time to chase the Muslim Deen and beat down their armies, claiming their territories and claiming victory. And as you can see also here, due to the, well, unfortunate medical condition of Hooshyar, our council has grown in size, needing to account for both a regent that takes a seat on the council, which in fact will later come into a little bit of more importance. And here you can see how our Persian culture is spreading quite nicely. We have our one Turkish province on top, well actually we have a few more, but one Turkish province that is also ruled by a Turkish person. So we probably won't push it out entirely, but yeah, Persian spreading nicely throughout the realm. As we also spread the Zoroastrian faith ever further. Not sure if that is actually a proper English sentence. Ever further? I'm starting to doubt myself, but never you mind. You know what I mean, and if you don't know what I mean, then by now you know what I should mean. It means that we are spreading it beyond our borders or within our borders. We just make sure that everybody has heard the word of Zoroaster. And as we capture also Tunis, well, we notice that we can actually usurp the kingdom of Africa once his wars are over. We have grown so far and wide into this territory that we are capable of taking this title and taking it up into our own realm. Something certainly Hooshyar, despite his incapability, is still interested in doing. He may be tired, he may have himself cloistered into the bed, but he still commands the respect to tell his people what they should fight over. And thus I give one of my sons his future. We'll make the dynasty that is strong, the dynasty to rule over the African lands. As I quickly hand out a few titles here, and actually there comes up the thing again that I just shortly mentioned a while ago about the council.
Because these titles, the council doesn't have any say over. You can always give them away. But as I give my son here land, the council is still in agreement, giving him the... Well, we don't have Tunis itself, so the capital of the duchy, but the second county of that duchy, the second most important one, I can give away. And then I look for some few good men to rule beneath him, or to serve him, as he will become the new king of Africa, or so at least is the plan of Hooshyar. Well, the council all of a sudden says no, it just doesn't want to give in. And because I am incapable, I cannot really do anything about that. Here, by the way, I just give away the barony, not the county itself. And here, if you can see, that's the county. I can't do anything because the council says no, and because I'm in a regency, I can't overrule them. That was a bit of a weird thing that I had to figure out on my own. But have no fret, I do find the answer. And the answer actually lies somewhere where you might not expect it, or at least I find it a little bit weird. If I looked at the council, every council member had no particular opinion in the matter, but was persuaded by the diplomacy of someone else on the council, and I had no idea who that was, or why they would vote against it, because if I just chose another random man, I noticed that it also didn't matter, and if I wanted to give anything to my son, well, I would gain some of the council members on my side, but not everyone. So I was at a loss. Why would the council vote against me, and who was influencing their opinion if no one said they had an opinion about it? Well, my first order of business was, what if I give the duchy title? Can I then give it away? But no, I was also not allowed to give the duchy title away. Well, unbeknownst to me, apparently if the regent is against your decision, he has a veto in it. But if you bribe your own regent, well, then you can get ahead in this world, even if you are incapable. So that's a very good thing to note. If you are incapable and you want to get some things done and you can't get it because the council seems to be against it, bribing your regent is the way to go. And here we have a one look-see at my son's children to see what the future will hold, because of course Hooshyar, I'm still incapable. I managed, however, to give the titles away, and then all of a sudden a jihad is called upon me. Yes, the single county count, though despite himself thinking as a duke, because he holds the Shia Caliphate or the Sunni Caliphate. They're all just the same to us Zoroastrian people. Yeah, they declare a war upon us. As well as the Sunnis are already fighting amongst themselves, so the chance that they will actually come and follow his orders are extremely slim. But here you can already see from Caravan and Gabas that there are no more borders in between. I have been able to give it away, and then all of a sudden we notice this. Hey, we can take away the kingdom title of Sana? And then I wonder why the heck this is. Well, it is because he, as you may notice, of the Rashid dynasty is down in the south here. And these are the Asir. This is a man that won, if you can also see by the symbols in this county, just a new revolt. And he is just a new count, so that means he's not in a defensive pact against us. Hooshyar, incapable as he may be, decides that it is time for one final push against the Muslimideen. A push that will certainly grant him access to stand beside his deities. Deities, I should say. Deities, sorry. English. But yeah, this man just took over everything, and well, we are going to make sure use of this. And by the way, this is already indirectly due to our meddling in this affairs, because this man, as you can see, is, well, you can't see because I'm not scrolling over it, but he is at least a heretical religion, and he is Yazidi. So, because of all the religious unrest, he has been capable of claiming all these lands. And thus, we are gonna go and fight him in the holy wars, because, well, he is Yazidi and doesn't have a lot of allies nearby. In fact, at first I decide for that just one war, but then I realize, you know what, I can declare a war on a lot of these little bastards, because what I do is I usurp the kingdom title, and then everything of the country of Sana falls apart, and we are capable of declaring many wars. That sounds like a wonderful idea to Hooshyar. He may gain the anger of the world, but his years are short anyways. And so we fight in many wars against many Muslim Indeed of many different insights and what have you not, and their divided nature will be their downfall, as their jihad is lost by simply taking down this one single man. And you know, of course, that if we thank him for the 10% moral authority boost, but how dare he? And so it is time for some sweet, sweet revenge. You, sir. Well, of course, we first have to put down the vassal levies, because, yeah, otherwise we can't declare war, because then we would have a little bit of an unfair advantage. So we need to wait until those sieges are over, then we can put the people to march towards its direction once again. His forts are weak anyways, and despite that he might be in defensive pact against us, there's not really something that I would consider a problem. And that is something I have also realized during the making of these videos. Like, if it's a single county count, and I've said this before, by the way, this is not something new, but you may be new to the channel, and this might be your first series. There may be a worldwide pact against you, but if you just want to attack a person with one single county, and you just can attack and assault his holdings quickly enough, you will not need to face all the armies, because if you siege down everything of that county, you will get automatically 99 or 100% in a war, and they will surrender. So that is the way to go forward, and that's the exact same thing that I'm going to do here. Hooshyar, in his zenith hour, decides, you know what, let's take him down all. And here you see that I have, for some reason, this man as a new regent, and thus I need to bribe him in order to, well, declare my wars. Here is his war, I call in the council support, and with that I can say, I can't? I'm sure then that was it. Declare war needs to be approved by the council. Don't I have the council on my side right now? I have. Oh no, because the council also grew. Yeah, that's the problem. The council also grew. So I bride my regent, and the other 4 people on the council are pragmatists. And pragmatists have something like, we are already in another war. Pragmatic people don't like to be in 2 wars at the same time. And then they're like, yeah, let's not go to war, we already have enough of them. But, well, bribing, as said, is always a good way. And here we go, holy war against the entire world that surrounds us, so to speak. And it doesn't matter if you go for de jure declare a holy war. So why not do a holy war? Because that gives us more moral authority. I say bonus points. And here you see all these wars that we have against us. And in fact, it is good enough of wars, of a numerous amount of wars, that I even call up some vassal levies. I know they actually have to do as they're supposed to do. It is hard times within the Persian Empire right now. And here is this pathetic little army that I bash in. And this will be the example of showing you that I'm not talking out of my arse and that I am right. This war is the last war in the row, so in the 4th war. You can see I already own 50%. 73 for simply sieging down or assaulting these holdings. 99% war score, and he surrenders. There are tons of armies out there, and there's no big battle, so you can't get 100% supposedly. But because you've seized down everything, he still surrenders, and thereby the Caliphate is gone. And it's so much gone that a lot of the ladies that I capture also say, yeah, you know what, we'll join your court. I say they are wise women. We know of the wisdom of women, or no, wait a second, that was a different series. Oh, still, we know of the wisdom of women. I hope I haven't insulted one of my watchers here, have I? Because the watchers, I would say, are female and male alike, and I know that I have female watchers. I'm not sure, however, on which series all the time, but that's a different point. But yes, we already knew we were incapable, and also Hooshyar, despite his blessings, the many blessings that he's been given by Zoroaster. Well, actually, that's the priest, not his own gods. I mean, think it's Umbed or something. I'm actually not sure. Oh well. He dies. There is a limit to a lifespan, and Hooshyar goes to the heaven at the age of 65. Now, the title that I lose, don't worry about it. It's the Shaddam of Sana, the one that I took away, but my son that gets it actually has lands within the supposed kingdom of Sana, so I already took that into account. And the new Shahanshah is CK2, probably pronouncing that completely wrong. In fact, I know I'm pronouncing it completely wrong, but the new Shahanshah gets to work and he picks up where his father, well, left off, so to speak. Taking down these walls and making sure that his people are safe and have ever more lands to expand into. Taking down both rebellions as well as expanding the Egyptian lands towards Abyssinia and pushing into Sana. But to see how he fares is for our next episode. I say thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.